quick, and then we can spend some time going to the Q&A. So what I want to talk to you about right now is pleasing people pitfall, right? This was one of the biggest leadership mistakes that I've done for a long, long time, because I was always confused kindness with leadership, right? And when I was a child, people, my classmates, they used to like me because not only my classmates, my even teachers used to like me a lot, because I know intuitively what each one of them need, right? And I'm good at keeping everyone happy. Right? And then I carried that even when I started my professional journey as well. So when I spend some time with you, I know what you like, what you don't like, what you value the most, what you value the least, and what you are good at, what you are not good at, and I have that knack or default setting of keeping you happy, right? And my definition of leadership for a long, long time was make people happy and they will follow you, right? And I constantly started asking this question: is everyone happy? Is everyone happy? Right? And if someone is not happy with me, I worked very hard to keep them happy. And I didn't realize in the process I was giving my attention and energy to the least committed person in the team. The person who is not contributing to the vision and mission of the company. Right? And I didn't realize it for a long, long time. And my desire to be liked by the people was so strong, where I considered the best days in my leadership are the days where I got the affirmation from the team. For me, leadership is equal to affirmation. If someone comes and praises me or tell all good things about me, I'm quite happy and okay with that. So in the process, as I said, what am I doing? I'm giving my time, my energy to the unhappiest and least committed people in the organization. And I was letting the tail wag the dog instead of dog wagging the tail. Right? And I was trying to make them as well as myself good. And I didn't realize that I was actually friendship business rather than leadership business. And I wasn't challenging people to do better, be better, and become better. If I do that, they will not like me. Right? And I'm not saying that you should not have any friends in the team or in the organization. You can be friends with your boss, you can be friends with your peers, you can be friends with your team members, as long as you know that you are not in the business of pleasing them, you are in the business of leading them. Let me repeat it. You can be friends with anybody in the organization, doesn't matter. As long as you are not in the business of pleasing them, you are in the business of leading them. And it's okay to be friends with them, maintaining personal relationship with them, as long as you constantly question yourself. Repeat, as long as you constantly question yourself, are you becoming the leader that people really needed, or are you becoming the leader people wanted? There's a huge difference between the two terms: becoming the leader people really needed versus becoming a leader people wanted. I don't want to be challenged by my next level. I'm not happy about it. Not everyone would be happy about it, right? We lack that awareness. But when I reflect back, my best learnings have come from people who actually challenged me. Be it my teachers, my professors, even till today I maintain good relationships with them. If they would not have challenged me enough, I would not have become a good person. Let me ask you this question now. If you are working with a group of people, how much time and effort you are putting to actually challenge them, to question them, to point them, put them in the right direction? We are always afraid of losing that relationship. right? But if you really care about someone, during the first session I told you why we'll have very bold and honest and challenging conversations with your parents, or why parents will have with us. There's a trust. Because we know that at the end of the day, though you may not like them that day, you may walk out of the house, go and eat in some hotel and then roam around with your friends and then maybe come home next day. But we know at the end of the day, they have their absolute best interest in our well-being, about our career and our future. Now my question to you is, are you really exhibiting that kind of a behavior and mindset when you're dealing with your team members? With your family members, are you really challenging them enough? Not every parent also challenging these days enough their kids, right? So are you really challenging them, putting them in the right direction? It's okay to have hard conversation in the beginning rather than waiting. So as a man, if you're a manager, there are two ways of dealing with people. There's a hard, easy sequence, there's an easy, hard sequence. So what's the hard, easy sequence? You challenge them enough, tell them what they're good at, tell them what they're not good at, tell them what they need to learn, how they need to learn, what tools they need to use, how much time they need to spend, who do they need to spend time with, It's all hard. Some managers, whom I've seen what they do, they keep maintaining a ledger. Today, person X has done this. It's a ledger. Why are they maintaining this? So that they can make the performance appraisal conversation easier and swing it their way. Because they remember everything. But if you really care about that person, what do you need to do? You need to have an honest conversation with them. Call them and have honest conversation. Tell them why you did not like so and so. What do they need to do? You don't need to cut the conversation off. You can't say that I don't like it. You should tell them why you did not like it, what you want them to do, how you want them to do. But the many managers, many leaders whom I worked with, they always follow this easy, hard sequence. At the end of the day, at the end of the year, you have to disappoint that person. There's no other way. You can't give false rating to that person, right? At the end of the year, you will obviously give the rating that they deserve, and then they will get disappointed. But instead of that, if you follow this hard, easy sequence, and clearly from the beginning, if you straighten them, put them in the right path, don't worry about, if you genuinely care about someone, you really don't need to worry about how they feel about you. Because they know if they do not realize in that moment, trust me when I say this, a month later or a quarter later, a year later, they would realize that this guy really put me in the right direction. He has got, or she has got the best interest of me, and without them, without me being challenged by them, I would not have achieved what I have achieved. So if you really care your people, don't hesitate to challenge them. Stop trying to be everyone's buddy. If you are making everyone happy, there's absolutely something wrong with you. Go back and check. How is your team? Are they happy with you? Are they not happy with you? If everyone is happy with you, must be something wrong. You are working in an organization for a long, long time. You are quite happy with everything, and you're not expecting much, not just for yourself, for your team as well. So in the process, you're not helping you, you're not helping your team as well, right? And stop trying everyone's buddy. Stop seeking affirmation. Stop putting yourself first. So there is this sequence. As a leader, you need to always think about what's good for the organization, what's good for my team or my division, what's good for me. The sequence is very, very important. If you flip the sequence, you'll become a manipulator. You are people pleasing. If you are a people pleasing for a person, you will flip the narrative, and even if you are a manipulator, you will selfish person, you will start with the last question: what is good for me? What is good for my team? What is good for the organization? It should be the other way round. And when you have to maintain, balance the care and candor when you are dealing with your people. Care and candor are like two wings of a plane, right? If you are all about care and not about candor, you will be maintaining a dysfunctional relationship. If you are all about candor, all about you are a taskmaster, you are all about deadlines, all of that, right? So you're all about candor, not about care. You'll maintain a distinct relationship with your team members. But care and candor are like two wings of an aeroplane. You need both the wings. You can't fly the aeroplane with one wing. You need both of them. If you use both of them enough in the right direction, then you'll be able to maintain a good, healthy relationship with your people. If you really care them, you don't want them to be where they are today. You want them to grow. So go and have challenging conversations with your team. But before that, you need to have a challenging conversation with yourself. And do it, self-intelligence, self-reflection, personal leadership. Before you go and do this, you need to look at yourself, and then you need to make yourself better, and then go and have those conversations with your team, right? And this is quite interesting. One of my mentor, this is not Maxwell, a person whom I dearly admire, was my ex-boss for many, many years, and he says something which is very interesting to me. You can love people without leading them, but you can't lead people without loving them. I repeat, you can love people without leading them. You can't lead people without loving them. If you really love your people, you will not only have honest conversation, you will start playing the role of a mentor and coach in their lives. Have you ever mentored anyone? Have you coached anyone? Forget about your team. Maybe some kid in your street, some kid in your neighborhood, or maybe your own son, your own daughter. Are you taking enough time to, are you spending enough time to coach them, mentor them, putting them in the right direction? Right? And another thing that I do, which really worked for me, if you really want, you go and try. What I learned from Craig Rochelle is, I was talking to Brother Wilson, he asked some question, and this thought, I was reminded of this thought from Craig Rochelle. Previously I was telling you that as a leader you need to have all the answers, and I said no, you don't need to have all the answers. Craig Rochelle says, by the way, he's also a pastor and he does leadership podcast, and he's the main speaker of GLS in Chicago for the last many years. And he says that people would rather follow a leader who is real than a leader who is right. Right? You don't need to be right all the time, but you need to be real with yourself and with your people. Right? And again, what I was trying to tell you is one thing that I really worked with me the last decade, which you can practice with your teams, is my way of appreciating people. I have a thumb rule. Appreciate more than you think you should, and then double it. Let me repeat it. How many times you take time to go and sit with your people to really genuinely appreciate the, for the things that they have done? Are you taking them as granted? My thumb rule is, I will appreciate more than I think I should, and then I double it. One Friday evening, I saw some people working. Then there's a McDonald's next to my office. I went and I purchased some food. Of course, we have a cafeteria. We provide free breakfast, free lunch, and snacks, and all of that all the time. But I went and I purchased something from McDonald's. I came and I went to. It's a Friday night, 7 o'clock. I went to each one of them who are there on the floor that day, and then I started telling them, how much I love their dedication, how much I value what they are contributing to the company over the months, over the years, right? And then I gave them that food basket, and then I gave them a knuckle bump and hugged them, and I said, I really love what you bring to the organization, and I dearly love your commitment. And you can't even imagine how much of profound impact it has created. And I could see the interactions in their eyes from the next week. I only met 7-8 people that night. I gave them knuckle bump, and then I hugged them. I gave that food basket and asked them to take it home to their family, not for them, right? And small acts of small gestures, kindness, showing kindness in small act, and most importantly, as a leader, my question to you is: are you saying it enough? Are you showing it enough? Are you writing it enough? Are you celebrating it enough? When was the last time you wrote an appreciation message to one of your team members? When was the last time you wrote a message to your manager appreciating what he has done in your life, or opportunities that he has created for you, or whatever it is? We don't do it because it doesn't come to our frame of mind. We thought we are doing a sin, or maybe if someone comes to know about it, we are buttering up, or whatever it is. They are powerful acts. When did the last time you wrote a appreciation message to your own kid? You may not see the value of it right now. They will treasure it as a trophy for their lifetime. Trust me when I say this. And I know I'm jumping here. One of the things that I did with my kids was, me and my wife, we used to give them books that we want them to read, and then we used to tell them, once you complete that book, I'll give you 500 rupees. The amount has changed over a period of time. I'll give you 500 rupees for reading the book. I'll give you another 500 rupees if you explain that book to all of us on the dining table. It's a habit. Like you do it an year, you do it 2 years. Now my elder one, if he is alone in the house and if he's a book in his hands and I can't find him in which corner of the house that he's in. I'm not saying I've got a big house, but I'm just saying as a metaphor to you. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? Okay, so going back to my point, are you saying it enough? Are you showing it enough? Are you writing it enough? Are you celebrating it enough? These are small things, but if you do it, then you will be able to maintain good relationship with people, apart from challenging them to become better persons, right? And we have very less time, so I'm going to skip few of them. There's another thing that I wanted to tell you. In any organization, this is my personal experience. In any organization, I divide people into 3 types. Who are they? Transformers, fence sitters, lost souls. Who do I refer as transformers? They are the people who are always in the leadership. They will do whatever you want them to do. They are there for you no matter what. They support you no matter what you do. They trust you blindly because they have seen what you have done for the organization, what you have done for them. People don't follow just like that. You will not have transformers just like that. People would respect you for what you have done for the organization. People would respect you for what you have done for your family, what you have done for your extended family, for your church, for your community, whatever it is. Right? And once they do that, you have certain set of people whom I call them as transformers. Who are the fence sitters? They're just there for taking their salary. You ask them to do whatever you ask them to do, they'll do it. Right? They're just fence sitters. Right? And lost souls, resistance. No matter what you do, no matter what you say, they will resist you. They will oppose you. Right? Typically, this is not a thumb rule. Typically, you will have 25% of the people as transformers in an organization, 50% of them are fence sitters, 25% of them are lost souls. Right? So whenever you are trying to initiate a change management program, whenever you wanted to implement something, whenever you wanted to complete something with the help of your team, right? So, who is going to support you? Transformers. Who is going to oppose you? Lost souls. Who are the undecided lot? Fence sitters. As leaders, what we do, if we are pleasing people, if I am a leader who doesn't challenge people, who has the mindset of pleasing people all the time, I go behind the bottom 25%. The 25% is the people who resist me, who oppose me. Because I value affirmation. I want to make them happy. So I go back after them. But here is the bad news. If you go after those people initially, I'm not telling you to ignore the people that said forever. But if you go after them initially, then your change management is up for a failure. Right? Leadership is contagious. Right? Leadership and life is more caught than taught. So what you have to do as a leader, you have to go after the transformers. You create credibility for them. You create a platform for them. You encourage them. You use them as instrument to attract these 50% people. You understand? But if you straight away go after the bottom 25%, your program is going to go for a toss. So you should always go after the top 25%, the transformers. Use them as your ambassadors to attract the lost souls. And once you create enough momentum, why do I say enough momentum? In fact, momentum is leader's best friend. If you are a leader, you should understand the impact of momentum. Imagine a train traveling with 75 km per hour. You put a car on the track, it will crash through it and then move, right? Take the same train, put it in the railway station, put a 15-inch metal block in front of its, front bogie. Would it move? No. So you have to. The trick here is you have to create the momentum. Once you create the momentum, you understand what I'm saying? Then you go back and put enough, activities and processes or in discussions, whatever you wanted to do, to bring that lost souls into the camp. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? Right? So never ever go back. So I don't know in your teams who are those lost souls, who are those fence sitters, and who are those transformers. Right? And you need to really do a lot of hard work in terms of converting a lot of fence sitters into transformers. Okay, so if you have ever done a transformation program in your organization, you will understand what I'm trying to tell you, right? And the other thing that I do, this is from my personal experience. So I call it as an 80-10 principle. What I do whenever I initiate a project, whenever I do a major program in the organization, which spans across multiple months or multiple quarters. So I divide that into 10, 80, 10. So when I say 10, it's takeoff. When I say 10, it's landing. When I say 80, it's cruise phase. So you take an aeroplane, takeoff, cruise, landing. So as leader, I will get involved in the first 10%. That's the takeoff phase. I want to make sure that they've got enough tools, processes, the requirements are intact, the process guardrails are intact. There is clear guidance as to what outcome we wanted to achieve, when we wanted to achieve, what are the risk elements involved here, what are the process controls, everything. I will get involved there as a leader, and then I will guide my team. Then remaining 80% is it's my team's baby. During the cruise mode, it's their baby. They just need to inform me. They have to inform me by the way, right? They just need to inform me it's their baby and they have to take care of it. Then, as a leader, I will get back in the last 10%. Why? To take all the credit? No. You should not get back into the game to take all the credit. I will get back into that initiative during the last 10% to make sure that I validate it properly. I ensure whatever commitment I have given to my next level is being delivered by my team, right? And there are any blind spots, there are not any loopholes, everything is intact. And then once I ratify that, once I sit with the team, understand it, then I will give all the credit back to my team, right? And we should not take all the credit. But if something goes wrong, as I told you in the first session, as a leader, you need to take the initiation. Nothing is going to happen. Don't worry about your job security or anything. In fact, leaders would actually appreciate you for doing it, for standing by your team and taking all the responsibility, right? And then taking that bullet for your team, right? So that's very, very important, and that's what I do. And I don't know how you are doing it. There are many people, they don't want micromanagement pitfall. I told you, they don't want their team to do anything without letting their manager know. Why? I don't trust them. Kishore, how do I know that I can trust my people? So my thumb rule is, I don't see people who they are. I see people who they can be with little motivation, little support and little guidance. And when would that happen? The opening statement I told you, if you love people, you can lead them enough. If you are loving them, if you are valuing them, you will think about their well-being all the time. You will think about how to uplift them all the time. Are you with me? So you don't need to micromanage your team. So I don't know what status that you are in your organization, in your professional life. You're doing micromanagement. You're really trusting. And if you ask me, Kishore, how do I know that I can trust my team? The best way to know is just trust them and see what happens. Best way to find out whether to trust someone or not is to trust them. That's all. If you can do it, right? Yeah, at the most, what would happen? Right? They may fail, and we can correct it. And at the same time, you need to be sure, like what's the downside of that failure. You don't want your organization to get closed because of the downside of that, right? So you can't take my words literally, but you understand the larger spirit of what I'm trying to tell you. Okay. The Bible says, those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. Isaiah 40:31. And why am I talking about eagles now? This is my closing statement. Do you know who is the king of the bird kingdom? Obviously, eagle. Do you know what is the only bird that dares to peck an eagle? Crow. Crow is the only bird that can dare to peck an eagle. The crow sits on eagle's back and bites its neck. Right? Interestingly, the eagle doesn't respond or fight with the crow. How interesting is it, you see? So someone is sitting on your shoulders, on your neck, and then picking you, creates a lot of pain, but eagle doesn't do anything. Now what does it do? It simply opens up its wings and begins to fly higher in the sky. The higher the eagle flies, the harder it is for the crow to breathe. And the crow eventually falls due to lack of oxygen. Right? So what am I trying to teach here? We need to stop wasting our time in the crows of our life. You don't need to respond to all the battles. You don't need to respond to all the arguments. You don't need to respond to all the comments. A lot of times, what you need to do? You need to keep rising your standards. You can either choose to fight everything, wasting your precious energy and getting nowhere, or you can soar higher like how the eagle does. And the moment you start doing it, you will see all the problems start fading away. Right? So, when people criticize you from now on, what are you supposed to do? You need to go higher. When people challenge you, go higher. When endless problems start picking at you, you need to go higher. The question is, how do you go higher? Simple. I've been running the thread all through my session. By growing, by getting better, by being better, by becoming better. It looks like a simple statement, it's a fully loaded one. How do you go higher? You will go higher by growing yourself. Not by going through life, but by growing through life. By growing, by doing better, being better, and becoming better. Right? And leadership is influence. Always has been and always will be, and you have the power within you to increase that influence. And why do I say that each of us to be a better leader? If we become better, everyone wins. With that, I will actually stop and I will take a Q&A session. Yes, someone wants to coordinate. I don't know how you do it. Did you learn something? I'll do one thing. So, can I ask few volunteers to share 2 or 3 things that resonated well with you guys by sitting here for the last 2 hours? What are those 2-3 things that resonated well with you?
Yeah, thank you so much. First of all, like starting from the beginning, every centence or the word or the analogy which you are putting, right, really helped. I took a lot of points and notes, and this is very well aligned to me because I was telling, right, I just moved to another company, and here I got a role as a principal consultant, and there are few people will be under me. So these are really adding right value to my role as well. And couple of things, right, what you mentioned based on that one is having uphill aspirations but downhill habits. because that is really thing which I need to adapt to it, like change where a lot of things, not only in the career wise, but even personal things, wherever like a lot of uphill aspiration, high aspirations I have, but reaching to them, the habits are like.
So you got full clarity on what you're going to do.
Right.
You may not share us with the wider audience, that's perfectly fine, but you got some clarity on what you wanted to change and how you wanted to change your life.
Exactly. That is very much motivating, with the habits. And also the couple of other inspirations which you shared, from Craig Goschel and John Maxwell. So all these things, hopefully, it will really help in my career as well. So thanks for that. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. So I told you that John Maxwell has wrote 90 books, right? And he wrote every single book from library. All of them are leadership books because he was a pastor for 25 years of his life. And every single leadership principle that he ever taught or whatever I spoke, we can find all references back to Bible. Okay, the next one, please. You can ask questions also, not an issue. You don't need to share. You can ask questions.
Yeah, nice. What interesting is like I think I am a people pleaser and should have. So yeah, as you said, tolerate them. I need to correct them. I need to straighten them and further better.
But you need to do that conversation in a respectful manner.
Yes.
It's not about you, it's not about them, it's about the big picture. It's about what is being missed, and there's always a way to do that conversation, broach that conversation. You can't since Kishore said, I should not be a people pleaser and I should be a people challenger, I'll go and fight with everyone. No. There is a way to broach that conversation, take your time, reflect on it, collect enough evidence, go and sit for a conversation, tell them, what is that you are expecting from them, how you want to see them in the next 6 months, and explain them where they are. They may not accept it initially because you have gone through a lot of self-realization and some exercise within your mind to be able to reach that stage, but they may not be ready. But you don't need to give up. You can say that, okay, don't answer anything. This is another important thing that I wanted to tell you. Whenever I do a challenging conversation, I tell people, hey, no, you don't need to respond. I'm not expecting you to respond now. Take your time. We will come back and have this conversation 2 days later. Trust me, if you allow that person to react in that manner, in the same conversation, the kind of conversation that you will have is going to be entirely different if you give 2 days time for that person and broach that topic again. Because you are thinking constructively. You don't want to fix him then and there itself, right? We are thinking about the greater good of the person. I think this should really help you if you are trying to change yourself in that area.
Yeah. And the other one is credibility is equal to character.
Into competency, yeah.
I think I should work on competency. And helping people and taking no credit. That's a powerful combination.
Yeah, that's it. I'm telling you, that's it. When was the last time you went to your boss and asked them, hey, how can I lighten your burden? Is there anything can I do for you? It doesn't even come to the realm of our thoughts, sir. You would always think about what my team members will feel about it if they come to know that I went and I asked my manager that I wanted to lighten his burden. These are simple things, sir. It's all about mindset. Yeah, really good, brother. Anything else?
Power of small habits compounded.
So that's really, I don't know if these are simple things. Thank you very much, brother. These are simple things. We should never ever underestimate the compounding effect of consistency. If there is one thing, I wrote 2 books now, in the process of writing 3rd book. I'm too bad at writing. I studied all my life in Telugu medium schools. I told you my background, right? And I studied in a school with 4 poles on 4 corners with a single pole at the center, with a thatched roof. First section would be around the first pole, first class. Second class would be around the second pole. That's the kind of background that I've come from. if the two teachers would come from the neighboring town, and if there is a rain, there is no school. If one of the teacher fell sick, there is no school, and that's the kind of environment that I've come from. And I can't even pronounce. I studied up to 10th standard in Telugu medium, +1, +2 in Telugu medium. Since I did not get a seat and I had to join BSc Electronics in English medium in one of the college, nearby college, right? And it's so difficult for me to write a book. Imagine coming from such a background, writing a book. It's so difficult. But what did I do? Every day I started writing for 30 minutes, right? And then I wrote a page, deleted it. Again I wrote. Maybe for 1 month, 2 months I might have deleted all the pages that I've written. But I did not let go that habit. I started doing it during COVID season for 2 years. Every day morning, 5 o'clock at 5 a.m. I used to get up. 30 minutes I used to spend my time on the computer. Imagine if I keep doing it on a daily basis, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 6 years, imagine what would happen. If you are having the fear of standing here and speaking, take a leap of faith and then start doing it. You may be bad the first time, you may be bad the second time, you may be even bad the 100th time. Imagine what would you be doing if you are doing the same activity 12,000 times, 15,000 times, what would happen? That's why I tell you, never ever underestimate the compounding effect of consistency. Whatever you value the most, whatever you like the most, start going after it, spending quality time on a daily basis. See what your life will be after 2 years, what your life will be after 5 years, what your life will be after 10 years if you are pursuing the same thing. Really liked it, brother. Gave me an opportunity to say a few more things.
One question.
Yeah.
Just come through one real scenario. See, there is this. There is a person, right, who is very skilled, like highly skilled, but he is not open along with the team who is working together, like as per the manager or lead saying. So manager took it to the management. So management saying that he is highly skilled, so we cannot get another resource immediately like that. So you deal with him, right? Make him, but that person is like not kind of an attitude, and if he's not willing. So how do we?
Who is not willing? The manager.
That person. The team member.
Okay, so
there is a team member, manager, and the.
So the team member is highly skilled,
right?
But he doesn't go well with the team, is it?
Well with the team and even with manager also. Like for example, if he is assigned some work, right?
Yeah.
He's like, okay, delay it in his own time. Right? He's not accountable.
Okay, I understand the question. Yeah, thank you. So this is a tricky situation, right? So what, if I understand correctly, what he's trying to tell is, someone's attitude is too bad, and they are like a poisonous drop in a bucket of water, or so do we tolerate that person just because he is good with his craft and he is adding value to the business, right? So personally, if I am the decision maker, for me, the culture comes first. I don't want to set wrong example, right? Culture is something that we intentionally crafted, and first I will assess what kind of cost the company has to bear in case if I have to let go of that person, and is the company really in a position to bear those costs. I may not be ready in taking the decision immediately, but I don't want to let go. I don't want to keep working with someone who is having too much of bad attitude and is not helping the team and is playing a spoil sport. Having said that, I will put everything in my capacity to be able to work with him, not once, twice, thrice. I do everything in my capacity, and until I make up my mind, no, it's high time, I can't do anything with this guy. I don't want to invest any more time. So if I reach that point, then I don't want that person to be part of my team. So again, perspective matters. Is everyone on the team feeling that this guy is playing a spoil sport and he is a bad person to be part of the team? Or is just the manager who is feeding it, or one or two people in his gang, in his camp? So someone third person need to bring that perspective and validate the whole scenario. So you have to look it from different perspectives.
Sure. And adding to that, one other learning is that 1% improvement. So daily 1%, right? How it is compounding to 37%.
Yeah.
So that is also like one key which I can take away.
Okay, thank you very much.